On my wedding night, my paralyzed husband soiled the bed, but I didn't feel any disgust at all. Instead, I brought warm water and gently cleaned him up myself, because to me, no matter how much of a burden he is, I can never repay the kindness he once gave me. I was born in a rural village, beaten and scolded by my parents growing up, until one day a young man from the city didn't look down on me. He brought me to the city with him, but I didn't expect his family never accepted me for years. He refused to get a marriage certificate. His whole family treated me like a free maid. I even had to sell goods on the street to help cover the bills. But that night, when I came home from work, I saw my daughter kneeling at the door, heartbroken, rushed to ask what happened. Turns out, my brother-in-law's daughter accused mine of stealing dance shoes. I knew my daughter would never do something like that. I picked her up and brought her inside, but my mother-in-law started yelling, claimed the child was the result of me seducing another man, and that she inherited a thief's nature from her countryside roots. I didn't bother arguing. I treated my daughter's wounds quickly and got ready to take her to the hospital, but the whole family wouldn't stop. They kept accusing her of stealing. Looking at their twisted faces, I finally couldn't take it anymore. I flipped the dinner table in rage. Everyone was stunned. I let out all the pain I had bottled up for years. I said I worked through wind and rain, selling goods, feeding the whole family, yet they told outsiders I was just a maid. I held back for my daughter's sake, but now they falsely accused her, even let her kneel outside in the rain with a fever. Did they have any conscience? At all. They didn't care. They thought I was lucky, just to live in the city with their son. My brother-in-law even egged my husband on to beat me. He was furious and did just that. My daughter jumped in to protect me, but my sister-in-law shoved her into the corner of the table. Her head hit it hard and bled. I didn't want to argue anymore. I grabbed my daughter and rushed to the hospital, but my husband blocked the door, told me to clean up the mess first and apologize. Otherwise, I'd never get a marriage certificate, and our daughter would never be allowed to attend school in the city. Hearing this, my daughter cried and said she hated this place, hated this home. Those words broke my heart. Right, then I decided to take my daughter and leave this cold place just when I felt most helpless. The commander showed up and proposed marriage to me. Turns out a few days earlier, he returned home with honors. The attendant left him in the car to run errands. He tried to move to his wheelchair for some fresh air, but overestimated his strength. He couldn't reach it. That's when my hands lifted him up. Seeing my plain but kind face, he felt something stir in his heart. He asked the attendant to find out about me. He learned I had no legal status in my husband's family, and my daughter couldn't go to school without household registration. So he made up his mind to give us a real home. I couldn't believe it. Me with a child, no status, no wealth. Why would anyone want to marry me? But he told me his brother and sister-in-law died during a countryside mission. Their son was left with no one to care for him. His mother was aging, and he himself was in a wheelchair, so he needed someone to help manage the household. After saying that he handed me all his savings as a bride price, looking into his sincere eyes, thinking about how we had nowhere else to go, I didn't hesitate anymore. I agreed to the marriage on the spot. We registered the marriage smoothly. My daughter was admitted into the best school in the city. From that day on, we started a brand new life. The two kids got along great. I cared for the commander with all my heart. Even my mother-in-law came to truly accept me. The next day, the commander personally took my daughter to school. After completing the paperwork, I took her to meet the homeroom teacher. To my surprise, my ex-husband's family showed up too. Turns out, my sister-in-law had pulled strings trying to get her kid into the same school, but they didn't know the one they asked for help was my husband, the commander. But the commander is a man of integrity. He would never break the rules, so he rejected them right away. But the family didn't know any of this. They still mocked me, and my daughter, I didn't want to engage. I grabbed my daughter and tried to leave, but my ex-husband stopped us, told us to go home with him. Then my sister-in-law told the teacher that we snuck into the school, that we didn't even have household registration. The teacher frowned and went to confirm with the principal. Meanwhile, my sister-in-law grabbed my daughter roughly, trying to drag her out of school, unaware they were about to face serious consequences.